All right, we will call the meeting to order at 6:38. So, see her. Anyway, we'll go with our roll call. Victoria Curtis. Jinwei is absent. Pam DeWitt.
Here.
Bara Sapir.
Here.
And I am here. So we have a quorum with Victoria by remote control. The connection is a little bit weird, but at least you can hear us okay, right, Victoria? Looks like she froze.
And do you have a hotspot on your phone?
I do, but it's also really bad connection.
It is it on your county phone?
Yeah, it's historically density.
Oh, is it? And it works pretty well, but others.
So, yeah, I'm just concerned about Victoria's picture is frozen.
And you can ask her to take her off video and
Video should.
the little video and just I can hear and see you all. Okay. And
Okay,
Victoria, you can always take yourself off video and maybe just do audio. So maybe that would be better.
yeah, Victoria, please stay with us. If we lose you, we have to stop the meeting.
Oh, wait, you have 5 members.
Yeah, but there's only 4 here.
3 out of 5. You're a quorum.
No, 7.
I thought
It requires 7.
Even if there's
We got
only
the
2.
2 are alternates.
It says you have to go with the 7, so that means we have to have
We'll double check. I thought
4 people
check
at all times. Believe me, I went through this. Okay. Sorry for some of the bumps here. We are gonna get going with our meeting, so let's go with I would like to at least introduce Dante.
I was confused.
Oh, okay, we'll let Ron take care of that. So let's do with the treasurer's report first, Ronnie.
Yeah, we're still sitting at $2,137.
Okay. And the receipt for the insurance has gone in for payment for the festival? Does the insurance payment come out of that, or is that still part of that money?
That's still part of that, but let me double check.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I'll put that on my list of
It
action.
should go through workday before the end of the month, right? Okay, thanks. All right, so then we have, next item would be approval of the minutes. The minutes of May 20th. Is there a motion in a second?
My motion. In 2nd minutes.
Okay, is there any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any- Okay. All right, the minutes are approved. So we'll begin, John, with you presentation by any supervisor.
Stand over here, so I guess I can be visible here. I'm over here, I am. Good. Welcome, good to be here. I wanted to be at this meeting to give some updates and to introduce our new staff person who will handle East Richmond Heights. I'll start with that and here, is this clear enough? Is that good? Right.
No one's using our podium. We have any podium.
I know, we don't have any. Victoria, can you hear us?
I can hear you, I
Is
can
your
see you,
pros-
and Dennis put the podium together, so he wants you to use it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Someone put it together. Dennis did it. How's that?
Yeah, perfect.
So I wanted to first thank Ronnie for his time staffing the MAC for a while now. And he is still going to be staffing the Elsa Browning MAC. He's the only staff person in our office that's handling 2 MACs. And so we like to spread the MAC work around to everybody. And so we actually have been doing this with Robert was elevated to chief of staff. We took him out of the Kensington MAC and Joanna now handles that. And then Dante, who's our newest staff person, will be handling your MAC, and you'll be very pleased. He's very good. Worked with Dante before in some of his former roles. He was with Healthy Richmond Healthy Contra Costa. I think he interned at the city of Richmond, right? Worked
Yeah,
at the city.
worked-
Why don't you come up here and introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'll-
Come up, Dante, come over here, use the podium, introduce yourself.
You won't take it personally that Ronnie rejected us.
No. You know, Ronnie loved the Mac and he's disappointed that he's gonna be leaving, but Elsa Browning is a very busy
He can
man.
visit whenever.
Yes, very busy,
I
so,
live like
yes.
right down.
Right. Yes.
So my name is Dante. I'm Filipino American. I was born in San Francisco, but raised in San Pablo, Richmond, and I've been here all my life. Went to the public school system out here. Graduated from Richmond High, and I went to Cal for my BA in public health. And then following that, I was working with Healthy Contra Costa, Richmond, doing policy advocacy work. And that's where I got familiarized with like Macs in general, and I would attend a lot of them with Richmond. Yeah, a lot of them with Richmond Macs. So I'm familiar with how Macs are generally run. And then throughout my time during undergrad, I also interned with Contra Costa Health and also the City of Richmond's Department of Children and Youth. And then after working with doing policy advocacy, I was doing community research at Golden School of Public Policy. I just completed my master's in public health. And as I was completing that out, I got a position to supervise the John Lewis office. So yeah, that's kind of a bit about me, like my academic background. Even though I'm as a public health practitioner by background, a lot of my work has been surrounding policy and government and community. So yeah, that's a little bit about me, and I'm very excited to meet you all. I was trying to follow all the past recent Macs to see what's going on, get to know you all. So yeah, very excited.
Good.
All right,
Thank
welcome,
you,
John.
welcome, and Ronnie will always be a resource for him, but he'll get to know all of you and
We should have brought a cake.
that's right, well, maybe I'm trying.
I'm sorry, I know, we're thinking of your way back. It's not in our budget.
Right, and so I mean, it's true, the North Richmond Mac is a very active Mac, so he was involved a lot with Healthy Richmond and Healthy Contra Costa. Yeah, so.
So cake wouldn't be appropriate.
It could be vegan,
We're gonna do it.
Or bring-
Good. All right, well, thanks, Dante. Good. All right. And Ronnie is like, I mean, Ronnie had to step in to work with this new location, because the new location is setting all of this up, so it's been great. And but he'll do with your neighbors over the hill on the Elsa Browning Mac. And still handle animal services. That doesn't change, so I know that there'll be animal service issues and Ronnie's involved with those and other issues too. So let me give you just a few updates about some things. On Monday, the school district has a committee called the 7-Eleven committee.
Yes.
And they make recommendations to the school district about surplus properties. And they are doing a walkthrough of two properties, the old Portola site and the Adams site. I'm gonna be going to that, and then they have a meeting in the community at Sarah School. So if you wanna just show up there at their walkthrough on Monday, they'll be at the Adams site at 6:15. And then go to Sarah School for a meeting at 6:40.
I'm assuming that's PM.
Yeah, yes.
And they're not gonna go in the building.
I don't know, good
The
question.
last time, I
Right.
guess it was all outside.
Well, it's interesting, you have, what I'm gonna do is,
It's
I'm-
Monday.
it's Monday at 6:15. And I'm gonna go there and I'm gonna talk to them a little bit about the county general plan policies for the site. As you know, the site allows appropriate housing. There's some other policies in our community profile, remember you worked on, some of you may have worked on that. So I'll be there to give them some update about what the general plan and zoning is for the site and the policies, like for example, one of the policies in our general plan under the East Richmond Heights community profile would be conduct community workshops to explore options for future development at the Adams Middle School site. Concepts and direction developed at the workshop would provide community preferences and guidance to county, local officials, property owner, prospective developer, and design team. The site should be a model for sustainable green development that meets the housing, including workforce housing, retail, recreational, service needs of the community, while mitigating impacts to the surrounding area. Such workshops should also be conducted for projects requiring general plan amendments or rezoning. Right, so that's some general policy we put in the general plan. And I'll talk about that to the group. So what realistically, if the school district board, right, the school board would have to make a decision to declare surplus property. And if they did that, it's still a process for them to sell it and then have a developer come in and go through the planning process with the county and the community. So we're talking realistically, I'm sure a few years off to anything. But since they're doing this walkthrough, they may make some recommendations that I wanted you to know, and maybe you want to be here, because I know that's the largest developable piece of property. In this area that's that would affect the future of the community in many ways. So just wanted to let you know about that. Also related to development, the county put on 2 measures on the ballot, one won and one lost. Measure A was the extension of the urban limit line, which maintains policies about where development can and can't occur. It doesn't really, no changes here for East Richmond, and it got 70% of the vote, so it passed. And it extends it for another 20 years, the urban limit. We also put on Measure B, which was a 5/8 cent 5-year sales tax, specifically to address the cuts in health and human services from the federal government. Unfortunately, that got 43% of the vote. And did not pass. In fact, if you look around, this was probably, I saw more losing measures on revenue measures than I've seen in many years. El Cerrito's library measure got only 30%. There were other those local opposition there. Oakland, I think, voted down for the first time in 15 years a revenue measure. Sorry, let me turn this off. So that is that means we're going to be addressing cuts on health, and we're doing the best. I think we talked about this before. We actually provide healthcare to over 250,000 people in the county, and so things will be impacted, and the board will be dealing with that. Although today, a little good news, we actually did the groundbreaking for mental health, the first 24/7 mental health rehabilitation center residential facility in the county in North Richmond near our homeless shelter there on Brookside Drive. And it'll have 45 residential beds for long-term care for individuals with very severe, serious mental health issues. So we got $19 million from the state to build it. We're going to be building another one in Antioch, 2 other different facilities in other parts of the county. So this is the first one, which is great, and we did a groundbreaking for that today. Speaking of elections, we did have elections for various county offices. Our county clerk recorder got reelected, Kristen Connolly. She had some opposition, but she won overwhelmingly. Our county assessor, I'll get to that in a second, who is retiring. The assistant county assessor, the number 2 person, was elected. Our county auditor is retiring, and the assistant county auditor was elected. And then our treasurer ran unopposed, and then Supervisor Ken Carlson out in Concord and myself were running, and we were both unopposed, and so we were both reelected. Your terms are, thank you, your terms are aligned with my term, which means the end of the year, and so we would reappoint you for new terms for next year if you're interested. So we'll deal with that later in the year. Also, speaking of assessor, when we were at our last board meeting, we were informed that the FBI was executing a search to search the Contra Costa County Assessor's headquarters, including homes and vehicles under the control of Assessor Gus Kramer and Assistant Assessor Vince Robb, the person who was elected. We don't know, we don't know. Sort of surprise to us that Vince Robb was part of this, but again, we don't know what they're trying to collect from him. As you know, our assessor's been in the news for several years for over various controversies. The county is monitoring this investigation, cooperating to the extent that we wanted to make sure all the employees in the assessor's office cooperated. The county has limitations on control over the assessor's office, even though they are a county department, we control their budget, because when you have an independently elected assessor, they control the management and operation of the office. So our goal as a board is really focused on ensuring the integrity of the property assessment process. And we're gonna explore all available options for making sure that services are delivered fair and partial during this investigation phase. So just to give you an update on that.
Did they mention any charges or anything?
No, I'll answer questions at the end too,
Alright.
and we'll take questions at the end, we'll do that. And then, no problem. And then we did announce, and for Board of Supervisors approval, next Tuesday are the $1 million in Embrace Community Impact Grants. And those are all get posted on the website tomorrow and will be approved by the Board of Supervisors on next Tuesday. So those are the reports I have. Any questions on any of them?
Questions?
No.
Any questions from any of you here?
You would ask a question about, the FBI doesn't talk about what its charges are.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know, I mean,
Yeah.
you know, obviously. Search warrant talks about looking at documents and records and things like that, you know, the role of the assessor is to assess. It's a very important position, because they assess the value of property in the county, whether it's a single family home, an apartment building, or the Chevron refinery. That affects the budget of all of us, from the county to the cities to the special districts to schools. So it's a very powerful position, and you know, we can all speculate what they're looking at, but I don't wanna, speculate. We'll see what they may, what
Yeah, something will come out eventually.
or not, right,
Yeah.
right.
Okay,
Yeah, okay, thank you, sure.
all right. Anything else for Supervisor Joy? Any questions?
I would say we had a good time over at Perfusion Vineyards on Saturday. Yeah, the
an open house.
yeah, he had his wine tasting and olive oil sales, stocked up on olive oil. Yeah, he
I missed that.
yeah, did that on
I was
Saturday.
on anyway,
Yeah.
I didn't know about it.
Okay. All right, John, thank you.
Good, I would stay a little bit and then leave, but I just wanted to be here for the report and to introduce Dante and not say goodbye, but thank Ronnie for work here, and he'll come back now and then, right? But, both I know are doing a good job of the handoff and consistency, and then you'll end up having.
Sure. Yeah. All right.
Okay.
Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Okay, next we have a presentation by the Sheriff's Department, Lieutenant Fitzgerald. Make sure it was okay.
Thank you.
They did all this work to make it, they wanna see you.
It's nice.
Right.
Brian Fitzgerald, Sheriff's Office. It's just like, I don't have any information on the FBI and what they're doing, but generally search warrants are because they're still investigating whatever they're looking for, so it'll be a little bit until they start. Before they do anything else, so anyways, excuse me, for the month of May, there was a total of 56 calls for service for East Richmond Heights, which generated a total of 5 reports, 2 of which were residential burglaries. One was in beginning of the month, the other one was about 2/3 of the way through, so I don't suspect there is.
Could you say the addresses of the?
Well, it was just, I don't have the specific address, but one was on Hazel and the other one was on Arlington, so.
Hazel and Arlington.
As far as trends for the previous 2 months, kind of on par as far as that goes. There's been 2 residential burglaries, both in March and April. But as far as like the crimes that are kind of like of note, auto burglaries, commercial, petty theft, vehicle vandalism, outside of that, before I take any other questions, just wanna let East Richmond Heights MAC know that this is gonna be my last meeting. I'm being moved to a different location for my work assignment, so they have not picked who the new lieutenant for the station house is gonna be. I think they're waiting for some promotions to happen before they do that, but once they make those promotions, they'll get somebody out of here, so I don't suspect it'll be too long. They will be without a lieutenant.
Very good time, okay.
Ryan, we appreciate you. I've still got.
Thank you.
You've still got each other's phone number in the meantime, but I really appreciate the work that you've done for us up here. All right, any questions for Lieutenant Fitzgerald?
And
Craig?
yes, I'm curious, how many officers are assigned to East Richmond Heights during the day and during the night?
So there's one per shift. We have 7 beats within base station as a whole. One would be assigned to East Richmond Heights. We throughout the week, during the weekdays, we have 3 shifts. So there's day shift, a swing shift, and then a graveyard. And then on the weekends, it's day shift and then graveyard shift. So a total of 5 throughout the week.
Okay, thank you. Okay, yes.
Question about traffic. I'm a big walker. I live on Park Avenue, which is unincorporated, but of course I travel through with McBride there. There's the jurisdiction of San Pablo and Richmond. Really concerned about the amount of traffic and the speeding through there. I don't know if you communicate with your other departments on traffic control or enforcement, but it's right now it's a little bit better for schools out. But during the school year, it's pretty heavy traffic. People get off the freeway at McBride and then come up McBride to Arlington and go wherever they go.
Yeah. Excuse me. So McBride is the main issue of some of the traffic concerns right now, or
Well,
ran around
McBride,
school.
yeah, initially that's where it initiates, and then when they turn there on McBride onto Arlington, then that's really in the unincorporated area.
Yeah, this is actually what we have discussed in the past, that the amount of traffic is because Google Maps directs people to come up and take Arlington if you're going to Berkeley and the freeways back there. Same thing in the afternoon with people going home. We've had the radar unit sometimes up there, just up the street here. And Highway Patrol also comes up here, patrols. So it is lighter now because of school, but all it takes is some issue on the freeway and it's horrible. I have a security camera that I track for the Highway Patrol, the number of cars that go up. I'm up by Arlington Market, and it's 1,400 a day on weekdays.
Yeah.
An average, and in a 24-hour period, which they were surprised it was that high. So
I do have contacts over at Richmond and San Pablo.
Yeah, and actually Amador is really bad as it transitions from Richmond into San Pablo, of course, the schools there. And there's a lot of speeding that goes on there all day, but even when school's in session. But a little concerned, as you can imagine, with I know that the city of Richmond is planning on redoing McBride, and one of the things I'm asking them to do is put some calming in that street, even though it's just gonna be one lane.
Yeah.
It would help out. Another recommendation, and I don't know if this is possible, is the flashing light that's there by Mira Vista School only operates during school days. But if it was to operate more frequently, at least people would have to stop to continue up or down Arlington.
That's something we can check with Public Works. I know at the beginning of the school year, we try to get CHP out to do some traffic enforcement, because they're the ones that do the enforcement for unincorporated areas. And, we could explore with traffic engineer, what could make sense.
Yes.
Someone that controls the hours of it functioning, so
Right, yeah.
getting in contact with them and having discussions.
someone needs to look at that too, because for Mira Vista, we had a power failure and then it starts going red at 9 o'clock at night.
We'll put that on the list.
There's some, yeah, somebody needs to get that.
Yeah, we will.
Be great.
In fact, we meet with, we're meeting with Public Works, like regularly, we'll check on that.
Okay.
And
All right. Any other questions for the sheriff's department? Okay, Ron, thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, we have Sergeant Stewart, Richmond Police.
Good evening, everybody. How are y'all doing?
Hi.
Very good.
Great, fantastic. Alrighty, so Sergeant Stewart, Richmond PD, happy to be here. First, I will start off with a few city sponsored events that we have coming up. I know it's summertime and a few folks may want to get out and celebrate. So I'll start with those. This Saturday, June 20th, we have Juneteenth coming up. It starts at Nickel. First, there's a parade. It's gonna land at Nickel Park. It's from 10 to 6. So there's a lot of vendors, great food, gonna be some live performances and a concert. So if you can make it out to that, please attend. After that, we will have the 4th of July fireworks, which takes place on the 3rd of July. And that happens at Marina Bay Park down by the police department. So not too far from here. It is a bit of a drive, but if you're looking for something to do, that is a great event as always. The one thing I will say about that event is the fireworks start later at night, but people start gathering around 4 or 5 o'clock. So if you want to go, make sure you get there early so you get a good space in the park. And then we have National Night Out that takes place the first Tuesday of August. I don't know where the East Richmond Heights hangout spot's gonna be for National Night Out, but I will figure that out. And once I do, I'll email you all.
I
Let you know.
think it's been at Tiller Park in the past.
That makes sense. It might be,
Yeah.
it might still be there. Sometimes they switch it up, so I will confirm that and get back to you. And also, I know there was some concerns about suspicious activity occurring in the area of Barth and Capitol. So I did send an email out to all the officers that work this beat and ask them to do extra patrol. What is also helpful is if you see something weird or something suspicious, please give us a call in that moment so we could address it. But yes, I did direct officers to do extra patrol in that area.
Thank you.
As far as McBride, sir, there's some of McBride that we have, like our jurisdiction is McBride and San Pablo Avenue, McBride and Amador, that is all within the Richmond PD jurisdiction. So we have a rookie on our team who needs the exposure, so I will direct her to do extra patrol in the area this weekend when I get back to work.
Right, thank you.
No worries, no worries. And then as far as stats and crimes, in this general area that falls within the Richmond PD jurisdiction, there were 32 calls for service. Or 32 incidents, I should say, not necessarily calls for service. But out of those, what's probably significant to you folks is we have 3 hit and runs, which is basically a collision where one of the parties takes off and doesn't exchange information. We had 2 traffic stops in the area, 1 call for service regarding loitering. 1 mental health 5150 issue. I'm just trying to read off the ones that are, 1 disturbance and then 1 accident with no entries. And then the most significant things that happened was 1 petty theft and then 1 person was caught with unlawful drug paraphernalia. And that usually consists of an instrument that people use to smoke illegal narcotics. So, and that is pretty much it. Any questions?
Any questions for Richmond Police?
Is it under Richmond Police's jurisdiction if there's things being built in the park? Is that?
Like what things?
I've just been hearing that some of the hikers, Alvarado and the Wildcat. I've just been hearing that there's some construction that's happening in the park, like people, and I don't know if it's unhoused or if it's people that just wanna have like their own personal place in the park to hang out.
So that would fall, if it is Alvarado Park, I believe that would fall under East Bay Regional jurisdiction. Yeah, they usually have jurisdiction over those parks. And as far as if somebody's building something that's not authorized by the city or what have you, then I would say yes, it is illegal. I just don't know enough to know to answer that accurately, because it depends, right? Like, if we're talking about folks who, are doing a barbecue that day and they're setting up a tent, as they're having a barbecue, I don't think that's an issue. But if it's an issue where you have unhoused individuals building like a building or a structure, that that's an issue.
I'll find out and see if I can get some pictures and send them to you.
And send them to me, and then if, I can forward that to East Bay.
Okay.
I just looked up Sergeant's correct, 'cause I was quite wondering, I knew Wildcat Canyon
Yes,
Park is part of the East Bay Regional Park, and Alberta Park used to be part of the city, but it was transferred many years ago to the Park District, yeah.
so that would fall under their jurisdiction. However, if you give them to me, I can send it to the proper people. I have a few contacts with that agency,
Okay.
so. Any other questions? Alrighty, folks, please, you all have, I know I brought business cards a few meetings ago, so if you have any questions, please let me know, shoot me.
Where's the Juneteenth?
Yes, no, that's gonna be at Nickel Park, it's in the 3200 block of McDonald Avenue, it's right next to the Shawn Middle School.
Okay.
Yes, and it's about from 10 to 6. Alrighty, thank you, folks. Yes, sir.
The two hit and runs, what streets were they on?
Yeah, so this unfortunately does not give me streets. I will say it was in the East Richmond Heights area, that's where I pulled the stats from, which is, yes, so within the jurisdiction of Richmond PD. But I do not have the streets. If you would like, I would pull some.
Just here, that's all right.
Sorry.
That's.
Alrighty. Any other questions?
I like your energy.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
No, I just had a good workout, so I don't know.
Oh, yeah, your
It's
blood is
working out.
pumping in that brain.
I feel good. Alright, folks, I'll see you later. Take care.
Bye-bye.
All right, we don't have highway patrol with us tonight, so we will go to Contra Costa County Fire Protection District. Michelle.
Hello, Chair. Hello, Council. Hello, Supervisor Joya, and members of the public. I have some reminders for you today. First, I'd like to start off. Congratulations to Fire Chief Aaron McAllister on his official swearing in as our Fire Chief of Contra Costa County Fire Protection District. Surrounded by family, friends, county officials, community partners, and members of the fire service, Chief McAllister took the oath of office and reaffirmed his commitment to serving the residents of Contra Costa County. Chief McAllister brings decades of experience, leadership, and dedication to the role, so congratulations to our new chief. Second is a reminder about weed abatement deadlines. East Contra Costa County was May 15th, Central and West was June 1st. Fire inspectors continue to inspect parcels throughout the district to enforce the exterior hazard ordinance within the county. Next quick update, the Contra Costa County Wildfire Mitigation Project Map is now available on our website. I put the link into the chat for Ronnie to distribute. This program map started with mapping all fuel breaks last year to upload the data into Landfire. The fuel breaks are being tracked on a GIS mapping platform, which you will have public access to through our website. We're sharing the link with cities, fire safe councils, government agencies, partners that would like to promote this feature through the state mapping program called CalMapper. That's CAL FIRE's version of the platform. Mitigation projects completed by East Bay Municipal Utility District, East Bay Regional Park District, and Contra Costa County Public Works are also sharing data on the fuel breaks and evacuation routes to upload to our local dashboard to track countywide mitigation efforts. So that link is in the chat now for you all. Please feel free to click on each project. It will, you'll get an expansion bubble. It will tell you the funding, who's responsible for it, the number of acres, the type of mechanism that was used to reduce fuels, and more. You can contact the individual person or partner agency that was responsible for the project if you have questions about an individual noted project on the platform. On to fireworks. Fire and law officials would like to remind residents and visitors of our county that all fireworks, regardless of the type or labeling, are illegal everywhere in the county. There are no safe and sane fireworks, regardless of the markings on any packaging to the contrary. They are all dangerous and uncontrollable. Additionally, the potential for serious injury posed by these illegal devices and the risk causing catastrophic wildfires during this time of high fire danger is too great. Again, all fireworks are illegal in Contra Costa County. To report fireworks in the county, you may call 833 885-2021. Again, that's 833-885-2021. And I've also placed that information into the chat for Ronnie's accessibility. With that, I am ready for questions.
Okay, any questions from board members? Any questions from any of you for the fire?
Hey, maybe it was interesting, but we only caught part. Maybe is there gonna be like a transcript?
Of what was said?
Yeah.
It depends how well it gets through recorded in Zoom. I have a feeling it's probably gonna, yeah, Michelle, you broke up a little bit.
I'm
Is
so
there
sorry
any-
to hear that. I am happy to forward the exact statement that I have read
Yeah,
on
it's
all.
not your fault, it's,
So all 4 topics I will forward to Ronnie.
okay, all right, so
That's good.
what she read, we'll be able to copy through Ronnie.
Will be what?
You'll be able to read, she's sending what she read
Oh,
to
okay,
us, we'll
excellent.
have a copy available. Yeah, Michelle, I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I did go in and look at, these different places that you can look with, the fire district and also the state. And I can't remember exactly what link it was, but I looked at East Richmond Heights. And it showed that East Richmond Heights now has a burn classification of medium. And it showed that there are 7 exits out of East Richmond Heights in the case of an evacuation.
Are you talking about the fire hazard severity zone map?
It stood out, it was marked, I think, in a different color.
Chair, are you speaking about the
Can you
the
say that
fire
again
hazard
slowly?
severity zone maps? Are you referring to the fire hazard severity zone maps?
Yes. Right, it showed a burn classification for us of medium.
Let me pull that up for you now.
Okay.
Instead of high. Okay.
Yeah, I probably should have taken some pictures. Oh, there it is on the screen. Yes,
Is this the map that you're referring to, sir?
yes.
Yes. So you'll see there that the local responsibility, very high, high, and moderate are noted.
Okay.
And I think that's why we're continuing our efforts for grant funding to support the East Richmond Heights Shaded Fuel Break. That we're moving through that CEQA process and locating funding to reduce those fuels, because we do recognize that fire hazard severity zone and the impact that that has on residents.
Okay. All right.
And I'm just going to share this link into the chat so MAC member Curtis has access to it.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions for the fire district? Okay, Michelle, thank you very much. I also did use your link and got the fire engine request in for our festival. So
Lovely.
As long as they're not tied up, they'll be back to have fun with us.
Sounds great. It's always just such a great event.
Are you going to be able to make it August 1st?
I am certainly going to try. Thank you so much for the invite.
Okay, we'll take a walk on the path to enlightenment.
I hold that experience very dear. That was great to walk that with you. I'm glad we shared that experience. And this year, really it'll be about the outreach of that CWPP, where we are with that being available to answer questions for residents and just really, interacting with your community. You have such a joyous and engaged community there. And I really hope that our schedules work out and I'll be able to attend.
All right. Thank you, Michelle. We appreciate it very much.
Thank you.
Okay, our next item is discussion item on the East Richmond Heights Art and Music Festival. And I will give you all just a quick update. the whole package for the road closure permit was all signed off and is going to the Board of Supervisors for their approval July 7th. I expect that to just go through. There shouldn't be any issues there. Alan Krakauer has been doing the lion's share of work so far with vendors. We've got 40, I think you said 40 to 45 vendors pending, maybe even more. So we're expecting a great turnout again on August 1st. For stage entertainment, we will be closing out the day with Dynamite Dave and the Detonators. That's Dave Chambers, the longtime participant who has been helping me organize this since Leonard Sweet passed away. That was always coordinating that, co-founder. We've got Guilty as Sin, who also played last year, the Vibe Project, which is John Mendoza's band. There's 2 other bands pending and 1 other musician to contact just in case. We have the Berkeley City Youth Ballet. They're student dancers that are 12 to 15 years old that would like to perform, and I'm just waiting. This year. That's a group that would like to be there. The Balinese dancers who have performed before
Really nice.
are on the list. And I'm just waiting for the final confirmation, but they really want to come. The Desert Heat dancers, they want to come. They are classical American belly dancers and have been around for 26 years.
Wow.
So we have, besides music, some other interesting things. Our neighbor Scott Gelfand, who is going to be recovering from a medical procedure, but he would like to MC and DJ for us like he had in the past. He's a professional. We hope it works out. I think his procedure is on July 6th, so we just have to get him a big, comfortable chair, I think. But he would love to do it again. And I mentioned the request for the fire engine. I put that through. And we need volunteers to help out during the day. I'm not sure quite where we are on that, but
I've got 4.
yeah.
I've sent out a nice little request, which I can send
On
out
Nextdoor.
again, actually, on Nextdoor. Did you see it?
Yeah, and I reposted it. I'll also put it up on our listserv, on our community
Okay.
listserv.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I can go in there and refresh it and make it more.
The more people, the less time
Right.
I can need to
I'm
spend.
gonna be there at a booth also, but have some spare time to put in.
Can we put your name on a list?
Yes.
So we can call you?
Yeah.
What is your name?
Gonna be there?
Greg Booth, August 1st.
Greg Booth?
Yes.
And what's your phone number?
233-6639.
6639. Great,
Yeah.
great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Greg.
And Craig is
Maybe we can use you for an hour somewhere.
Okay, yeah.
Okay, that's, and that can go by fast.
Uh-huh. Well, I mean, during the day, I'll have to use my cell phone, which I can give you too.
Oh, yeah, so,
It's same area code 499-1803.
okay, thank you, Greg.
all right. And then as I started to mention, the festival this year will be dedicated to Leonard Sweet, the co-founder who handled all the music in the past. I have received all of Leonard's sound system that we used in the past, giant speakers, mixer and all that, microphones. So that'll be available. We'll have a good PA system there too. Any questions on the festival?
No, but I sent everyone where the banner's at, the design. Did you get a chance to look at?
I didn't see it, sorry,
No.
I've been gone for about a week if it was.
I just sent it out.
Okay.
So I don't know that. So that's something, so this is where it started, this is the evolution of it,
Yeah.
but this is where we're at now. Basically, these are just some of the sketches. And he also put in a little wildcat right in there.
Okay.
Super cute. So we're not at all finished. We definitely have time. We're getting closer, but I would love feedback. So if you guys can check out your.
I've looked at the ones you sent in the past and I'm good with all of those.
And then meanwhile, it'll be up here when but this one's nice. Not everyone can see it, but
The one on the bottom?
I like the Wildcat.
But it's, we put a Wildcat in Wildcat Canyon. And so we're fine tuning it, and I think that
I like that, you've got the QR code right there.
we've got the QR code.
Oh, I see the Wildcat. Oh, that's cute.
So I didn't even know, like, I thought, oh, maybe we can even make the Wildcat bigger and just make his, like, him popping up on the bottom, like, but we'll see.
How about just the face?
Just the face, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just the face of the Wildcat and taking him off of here, but
Okay.
I thought that could be kind of cute, right?
It is cute.
So we're playing with it, and hopefully, you know, we'll be able to decide what we're gonna do between now and our next meeting, because I'd like to move this, but we do have the funds from last year, so I had already paid for it from last year's budget. So unless the price changed, I've got credit for that. And Supervisor Joya said that we cannot get, Victoria, we cannot get t-shirts. Those are not.
Oh, that was my next question, because I think it's good if the volunteers can be identified by the crowd.
I have said to him, I think that it could be, that maybe we should revisit that the money can be, we have the budget for it, but can we do that? But he said no, and I'm asking him, how big is that no? Yeah.
That'd be tell them that that's why we want it, is so that people can identify who the volunteers are, so they can approach us for help.
So
I don't know, I kind of like the Wildcat up there in the green.
it's cute, right?
Yeah.
It's super cute. Yeah. So and yeah, I think that this will be nice, and they'll be able to continue to use it. And so any input more.
Okay, I'll look at it on my computer so I can
Yeah,
see
look
it
at
better.
it, look at it a bit more.
Okay,
But that's weird. And you can see the evolution of how it. Okay, so.
okay, all right, thanks, Barbara.
Mhm.
Okay, next item is subcommittee reports. Jinwei has not shown up, so don't have anything. Ronnie, was there a meeting of the land use
No,
committee?
I'm still working with Supervisor Joya on that the continuation since Joanne has resigned. So that's
Okay,
pending item.
yeah. Okay, agenda items, speakers for upcoming meetings, any input on that tonight?
I'm a little bit curious about, and I don't know if it really falls under our jurisdiction, but there seems to be this question about the 1985 land use of Wildcat Canyon and how that exists, but then there's a master plan that was taken from Richmond. And I'm kind of wanting to understand that a little bit better in terms of the bike trail, but I don't know if we want to bring more of the bike trail.
No,
Here.
we really can't do that.
Mhm.
We can advise the Board of Supervisors what neighbors bring to us, but we can't do that or even take a position on that.
Okay. well,
And it's
we
not
can't
part
do
of our
it.
land use committee. The land use
Right.
committee is specifically people who are applying for a variance on their property.
Right. No, I get that. I don't completely understand. I don't know if people in the community understand what the rules are in terms of what's going on. And I don't know if someone can come and just inform us, what is the land use versus what, like master plan, like how does that get to just educate us?
people.
Yeah,
I think
Is
that
that
would have to
something-
probably come from the East Bay Regional Park District. It would have to come here and.
More than likely, Max and that spoke a few meetings ago. So I can reach out. There's no guarantees, but I can definitely reach out to Max to see.
Do you want to put that into a question and send it to him?
well, I'm sending it to Dante now.
Well,
Send it to both of them.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Copy John.
Okay,
Okay.
I got to break that old
I'm
habit.
gonna send it to Newsom too.
Okay.
I'm very interested in that also, because I'm
Yeah.
getting more concerned about the fires. I just feel like this fire severity is getting worse.
Okay, anything else on that item? So I should mention, as you may have noticed, we don't have the historical presentation tonight. Brandon and I needed another month, so we're scheduling that for next month. For the second part of the Belgium
Cliffhanger.
Planetarium.
Do you have a little something that I can send around to get people in here to listen to you or
I
at
can
least?
make something for you, yeah.
You know, cause I think that's so interesting.
So interesting.
Yeah, well,
More people should
they also
hear that.
recorded,
So interesting.
it was recorded, the last meeting was recorded.
Right, right, I know, but
And my plan, which I haven't had time to do,
People
is to take that, I will save that YouTube. And then I'll cut out the presentation by itself, and I can put that on my YouTube channel. Where it can be shared with everybody.
Well, we can also put that, it would be really neat if we were able to take the historical, all of the historical ones, pull them out and then have them be on the East Richmond Heights. Hey, like have an East Richmond Heights YouTube channel and then have all the historical things.
Yeah, we could create, I think I could
That would be
create
really
that.
nice
Yeah.
to have.
Okay.
Do we have an official East Richmond Heights email? Because that's really all we need in order, like an email and
Well,
we
the
can do it
email would
through.
be Supervisor Joyous.
So I think that would be great.
Okay. All right.
More work done. More work.
Not too hard, I created another YouTube channel for the Alarm Museum, and so it just. But I think that's a good idea to take all the presentations and put them in one place, yeah. Okay. All right, we are at, public comment on any item under the jurisdiction of the committee and not on this agenda tonight. Usually speakers, we ask limited to 2 minutes. Is there anything anyone would like to bring up? I do have something, but I'll wait until the rest of you. Anyone want to bring up anything? Put it back. Well, let me tell you what I did here. This is where we live. So I took the time to look up earthquake ZAP, Z-A-P-P, okay? That's under the conservation.ca.gov, geohazards. And I found it just by Google searching earthquake ZAP, Z-A-P-P. And you go in and all, you know, you have the United States there, but you can put in an address or geographical area, and you can look at the earthquake faults. Now this right here is where we are. Here's Adams Junior High, right there. And if you notice, that earthquake fault, the earthquake fault is going right through this building, that particular one. The big line up here, which runs all the way down all the dead end streets up on Kensington Avenue, Richmond Avenue, Kensington Avenue, and Bernhard. This is the backyard of Bernhard, all up in here. Okay, and these are other little fracture faults. The yellow is what's expected if the Hayward Fault ruptures, and you can see it goes down quite a bit. Okay. This over here is the bottom of the canyon. So the top of the crest up all the way down Birmingham.
what's the green?
Well, if you look, there's two different things here. And so I did some snapshots you guys can look at. There's your Hasford Heights. You have one house next to you, and next to that, you have a landslide.
Great.
Potential. I want
John, is it possible to post that or email it to us? I'd love to see those.
Well, actually, I saved them as PDFs, so I can send them to you.
Okay.
I had them printed in color because she asked about the color. The yellow is the fault zones and what's affected by that. If you look at here, this is zoomed way out. This is the city of Richmond. Okay, and you can see the line up here on the crest of the hill with the faults also under there, but how far they say it is. But you go with the color, almost all of Richmond is green, is the liquefaction factor. The blue are the landslide zones. And some of them are on top of each other, but because of the yellow band, I couldn't figure out how to get rid of the band so you could see the different ones. But these are really easy, and I started with putting in my own address. And so I just wanted to share that earthquake zap that you can go to. You can look all anywhere and see different areas. I thought this was very interesting here because your house is right there. And if you notice, Kensington Avenue goes all the way through to Arlington. This is the government website, which has been blocked off now for the 6 years, actually. And yet they're showing that this is still a road that can be used for evacuation, and it's blocked off. We're not going to talk about it anymore because nothing's
Just gonna go take a hatchet.
But take a look at that.
No, just kidding.
The street is on this map,
Yeah.
along with probably some other streets. So I think it's worth, I can send these, I guess, Ronnie, if you want me I can just send you the package of these. It's about 7 different pages. They're all PDFs. I picked them, and I did them in sections so you can see this is Alvarado Park up to here, and then from here up to the El Cerrito city limit. I have one El Cerrito city limit, which is just a block up from me going on up into the golf course. To see what, they forecast could happen. And Greg, I don't know, have you ever looked at this site or know about it?
I've not, no, I certainly will go onto it and do
Okay.
that for maps too.
So what I'll do when I get home is I can email these PDFs to Ronnie, and then he can make that available to everybody. And like I said, you can go in and just take a snapshot, and it has the key also. Some of them, like this particular one I zoomed in, it had a landslide zone, but there's no liquefaction zone. So, it automatically tunes itself. This is Alvarado Park Avenue going out here, is in McBride. Right here's McBride going out this way.
Does it give you any kind of data like a
So this is a fault here,
possible?
right on the edge of the canyon, right?
Not a forecast, no. If you do zoom in, the more you zoom in, then your addresses start to show. You start to see each of the property by address. So,
John?
Yeah.
John, I mentioned on the chat.
Yes.
I work with a wonderful soils engineer in Berkeley, Alan Kropp, and his assistant, Jim Lott. And I put the website. He has an excellent site online with all the mapping and all the earthquake fault lines. It's really good.
Can you send that to us in an email, Victoria?
Sure.
What's the name of this site? The Zap?
It's Earthquake Zap. And it is kind of a long URL, but if you just Google Earthquake Zap with a capital Z, ZAPP, it will take you back to www.conservation.ca.gov/, and then it goes into a couple of different more extensions. And you just enter a zip code to see the seismic hazard zones as closely as you can keep zooming in, and the closer you get to more data, it will show you. I didn't figure out how to, if you want to take the yellow, which is the threat zone, I haven't figured out how to take that off because it covers over your green and your red and the other colors. So I thought that was worth mentioning after we had the presentation, and check then with your involvement too, on our neighborhood first.
Well, I'm kind of curious because I want to upgrade my structure of my house a little bit, and I think they do ask there's some kind of data you can use to assess what You should, I mean, how strong you have to make your house, I think.
I believe if you go on to Alan Kropp's
So.
site, it
that's-
does have
This
it.
is my little chair. Go ahead, Art.
So
Yeah.
I'm saying if you go on to the Alan Kropp site, it tells, you can put your address and it'll tell you if you're in the special study zone, like if you're within a quarter mile of the Hayward Fault. And that's why I retrofitted my whole house, because I am within a quarter mile. I'm on Claremont, just below the Arlington. But that brings up one other thing that's very important for people to remember, to put an automatic gas shutoff on your main. So if there's an earthquake, it will shut off your gas so it doesn't cause a fire. You can just call any plumber, they can take care of that.
thanks, Victoria.
Okay.
So I sent out an email also that we have to deal with our budget in the MAC. And so we're coming close to, I think it's the end of June that the budget ends. And so I'll ask about the t-shirts again, but do we want to send out postcards to our community? We've never done that. And I think it'd be really great. And we could talk about the historical presentations, and we could talk about all of these different things that we do to have people get more involved, and even to, join via Zoom, but just to make our presence known a bit more. So, I can
A little
certainly.
reminder.
Yeah.
They know already, at least a reminder.
Right,
We
so
are.
the postage, the MAC would be responsible for, but Supervisor Joya just said to me that the county can actually print stuff for us. So I don't know if we have to go through Vistaprint or we would go through the office, but once we get the banner, we'll have a little bit of a sort of branding, and then we can sort of translate that, but it might be fun to have our pictures on there. We can take a picture maybe at the East Richmond Heights. That might be a good time. There'll be photographers around, so people can recognize who we are for now. But we can talk. I think it would be nice to have a conversation about what we want those postcards to have on them.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love that idea. Yeah, I love it.
Yeah. Well, we do have, I know you sent a notice out, Ronnie, about when we have a meeting coming up, and that's to the master email list of people who have given us emails, right?
Yes.
Do you know how many people are on there?
Like I would say a little under 200.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, and so that is going out now. We all get that too, the reminder. But still nobody's coming here unless we've got a.
I think something
drastic
visual might be
thing that
more,
they
I
really
think it's
concerned
visual
about.
in your mailbox might be a little bit more eye catching.
Oh, how many people are
How many people are
how many
getting
people are in
like
Contra
2
Costa?
emails in their inbox?
How many people are in East Richmond Heights and Hasbrook Heights? How many residences?
Offhand, I think I can get the number.
But that's what we need, so you guys have the addresses of everybody, whether or not we have the names, like it would probably go to resident at, or it would go to the person. But we need to know how many, we should know how many people we're really representing here. I think that is super important.
It's in the general plan, the highlight for the.
Oh, Will's presentation, he's right. I'm curious if I have that with.
It's not an exact number, but it's a good
Yeah, that was some
observation.
under this. I think.
Bara, I can get a database from the title company for East Richmond Heights.
It's available, it's.
I find here.
I think it's on our website, our Mac website.
Oh, I do remember this.
Yeah. I think in there somewhere it's got.
But we can we theoretically, we don't see what people speak, but we theoretically could do it in a couple of languages if we have the demographics, and we can do it.
Like I say, we are sending that out to.
But it's in English.
A couple hundred people already, and nobody's coming,
But
we're gonna
there
talk
is-
about fire or a bike trail, and then they pack this place. So, and we learned that from experience, so we need to.
You have to make it sexy.
Maybe even
But people are
multiple
getting-
emails,
people are
like,
getting
you know, we just one
many
sometimes
emails.
gets ignored and then a second one, you know. Might have,
We'll have to have a raffle. It doesn't say in here how many people live here. It just says the median
doesn't.
age,
Okay.
life expectancy, household income. I'm not seeing, maybe it's in here, but I think your office will have the number of households and the number of people.
Our office, no, but we can definitely get the number.
I think we should know how many people are in our jurisdiction.
I mean, maybe the office that has that information is the assessor's office. Now's not the right time to.
Well, that or GCD,
Yes.
we can shake some rattles and cages and get that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, if we can look that up with Laura,
And then we need to decide as a body what we want to send people information about. And we can make a really exciting postcard. You know, we can make it really fun so people will want to come. We don't even have to talk about doom and gloom. We can talk about things that make this valuable part of the community.
okay. Gonna take care of that.
I'm gonna be part of that.
Okay.
Okay.
I've got a couple of new neighbors and one semi-new that I can tell about it, but I'm sure don't know about it.
Okay. What else? Anything else from anyone tonight? All right, well, thank you very much. We will be here the third Wednesday in July, just before we have our festival. And everything's moving along.
So once we have that number, that's what's gonna determine our stamps. And that's what needs to go into the budget.
Again, that's where I'm gonna reach out,
No, I get it.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is like, I wanna just, even if we have to throw out a number for stamps, because postcards are like crazy expensive anyway.
Yeah.
But they might be able to be under, I think that you guys pay less for stamps. So I don't know if we'd be paying out of the budget to you, because we're gonna get the stamps from you, or we're gonna get, because I think you probably pay less for stamps because it's a government, maybe not, I don't know.
Yeah.
But well, let's talk maybe this week.
Yeah, I'll just reach out to Will now. This is
Okay.
the ball.
Okay,
So I motion to end our meeting.
okay, second.
Can I say one more thing?
Yes, I take it back.
What can we do to improve the Wi-Fi? Like, what if they just haven't had the company look at their modem for
It
years?
was working fine.
We have problems with it.
But we can get something to bump it up.
That's the churches.
I know,
Yeah.
but
We can invest.
we could ask them, have they had their company actually look at their Wi-Fi lately, because it doesn't work very well? Because I know, even in my business, if I don't do anything and just kind of swim along, something will get really bad and I'll call them up and I go, well, they go, well, you're using a modem from 1976. I mean, if they're just not paying attention that it's not working well, maybe they have a new modem for them at the Comcast or AT&T or whatever. Can we just like,
Are you able to see, like, does it define the Wi-Fi here with a number of bars? Does it look like we're not getting that good?
You can do a speed test really easily. You can go to.
I could, but I'm not. After the meeting.
Actually, it just takes a second. I won't even start the meeting.
All right,
I was
well,
the person to the share.
we'll end the meeting.
okay,
Okay, all those in favor, we're done.
we're done.
We're done.
Okay,
Bye.
Okay.
bye, Victoria.
Bye. Bye-bye.
Thank you for being here.
Hey, sure.